Capricornian, I believe things are happening in your favor. You know, after you are being taught, when Jesus wanted to raise a great army, when he wanted to spread this whole message to you into the whole world, he chose 12 men. Imagine, and the 12 men were enough. What you're listening, it is non-corrupted. The prophet tries to see that they give it to you raw, that you may have it in its truthfulness. Because as long as what you have is right and not truth, you will still be having challenges with the kind of results that you're getting. I noted when we were beginning that many have prayed, many have fasted. People have done things. People have done things. Sometimes you even look at that Bible and you feel angry. You're like, I've done cover to cover. What is not happening? But sometimes you need a sharper eye. You need a sharper eye. Like I told you, God has anointed. God has sent people on your behalf. And it's one of the voices in the city, in our generation, in our era. Child of God, take advantage of these words. They will take you. They will place you. We are now into mastery. We have left servanthood. We have left kindergarten. We are now up here where you want, where you desire. Mastery, when it's you in control. When it's you in control of everything, to the glory of our God. Prophet, you're welcome. Amen. Back again. You can lead us on. Amen. We are ready.
Amen. I just need to use a few minutes to close, because right now we might be taking some few calls. Okay. But this is the thing. Prosperity.
You didn't talk about my body.
That's exactly what I wanted to do. Prosperity is a complete byproduct of how we control or run our souls. Now you've understood how let's say the mind works, or what it is we need to do with our mind.
Yes.
It is also the trick that we need to use with our emotions. So spiritually, there are no emotions.
Okay.
So sometimes can be like, oh, God is going to feel pity for me, which is what I said earlier. Or then people will cry, that when I cry, because naturally, if I cry before you, you might be touched. Your heart might shift.
Because I have a body.
So we have an understanding that if we cry before God, his heart will shift. And that's not...
Prophet, God has no body.
He has a form of a body, but he doesn't have our body. So the things that the way we relate with men, we carry that relation, and then we think that it is the same way God works.
Vibration that God receives.
No, he will show you mercy. But that place does not exist in his heart.
Oh God.
He will move. He will release his mercy depending on his word, depending on his servant. He says, for my name's sake, for my servant's sake, for the sake of my word, for the sake of what I said. That is the thing. Okay. So you must separate your emotions when you are dealing with God.
Understood.
You cannot go to God and be like, God, take us out of this problem. You see, our entire family is in poverty. What? That language he doesn't understand, because spiritually, unfortunately, there is a legal determinant. There is a reason why you're poor.
Wow.
Legally established in the spirit. So I mean, like, what is God going to do?
Erike ensonga ngate ensonga ntuufu
yes
lwaki ogirimu
if they take you to court and they say you murdered a person,
Yes.
and then you go to court, right?
Yes.
There is evidence against you that you murdered the person.
Okay.
And now you come on from the other side, then you cry before the judge. What is the judge supposed to do? Have pity?
No.
Uh-huh.
The law
So that
must
is how
prevail.
the kingdom, that's how the kingdom works.
So even
That's how God
ne
works.
Katondo tutaasa ajjira mu mateeka gabegaba mateeka tasobola
More feelings.
nti mumusonyiwe bannaaye wadde yabye mu muleke. Okay.
That is not how it
Wow.
is. So for you to be able to use your emotions perfectly for prosperity, you need to dissect. Okay, like separate yourself, how you feel from what it is God says to do. So you cannot now start looking at giving as something you feel.
Bijjeemu embeera.
You cannot say, I will tithe when I feel like it. I will sow when I feel like it. You must completely separate your feelings from what it is that needs to be done.
Okay.
Now,
Wow.
I've given you the side of the spirit. There's the side of the flesh.
Yes.
Now, the side of the flesh, the body, is the side where people say hard work pays.
Okay.
Hard work pays. Muntu nakera sawa 10 nagenda nakola neyetoloola oba suubula biki suubula mputa nagenda mu katale nateekamu amaanyi ge gonna. You use everything that you have
Newemalayo.
only to go back home with nothing.
Wow.
That means you will make this body work.
It's the one of Peter. Kiro kyonna.
Kiro kyonna misana na kiro mukola.
Ate abo be baagala abantu abasinga abo.
Thank you.
Gundi oyo akola nnyo.
Akola nnyo. And so we have a sector of Christians that are like that. So when it comes to men of God that
They
have this
advocate.
understanding, yes, they will advocate for that. Why aren't you working? Why aren't you do this? You are supposed to work. You are supposed to do this. And yet, unfortunately, the God has a blueprint for each man.
Yes.
There are men that he will call and say, you don't work. Not because he doesn't want you to work.
Yes.
Now, of course, we have Christians that will believe
It's their
that
blueprint.
kubanga tukola. Teeka. Lwaki nga tukola. Katonda blessed, God blessed work. You must work. But if you do
That's
not
why
follow
when
the
you see
direction,
people who have a lot and they don't work a lot, it disturbs
kitujja
us.
mu mbeera.
You don't understand this God. No, God is not fair.
God is not fair. Abo babbi bubbi. They say these people don't do anything, but they are blessed.
So sometimes
They
that person
know-
has understood their blueprint.
Thank you.
Okay.
They've understood what it is God has requires of them, and they've done it,
And they get.
and they get.
Prosperous.
That is it.
Wow.
So you take, for example, I'll use my example because now I do not want to mention other people's examples.
Yes.
I will use my example. If when the Lord called me, I used to work.
Okay.
Work perfectly, go to church evening, what? That was a normal thing. When he called me specifically, said, I leave work.
Okay.
Now, of course, there will be those things of what will he do, but for me, he had taken me through a journey
At least you
to the
knew.
place where I was comfortable.
Trust.
Trust.
You could trust him.
100% plus. I was not worried about anything. I know that this is what God, and he will take care of me.
Okay.
So I moved. And that is my blueprint.
Okay.
Now, if I reach a place where it is hard, and then I say, let me go back to work. That is my, whatever that I'm doing is my way.
Wow.
But as long as I stick to this, it means there will be, it doesn't mean it will be, beautiful all along. You will go through the valley of the shadow of death.
Wow.
But then you will get to the top of the mountain.
Wow.
And then everything will be fine.
There's someone there who may want to say, Tali mchawandikibwa. I think what you're doing, I'm looking at Peter.
Yes.
Who was a fisherman. Jesus withdraws him from
Thank
being
you.
a fisherman. At a certain point, he says, Ambikoye, let me go back.
Yes.
He goes back and still he catches nothing.
Yes. Still,
We are receiving.
till he comes back, and when he becomes a fisher of
Wow.
men, he becomes excellent to the point that people look at him and they're like, how did this man learn to speak like this?
They were bringing man at his feet now.
Exactly. They just pour it.
Kaina Buddha
Because now
Buddha.
he's at that place. He's at that place. And if we do not understand, now, that is the thing about prosperity.
Wow.
Prosperity is a byproduct. It's not a thing you seek. It's not something that you pray over. That's not it. Okay. It must come to you. It comes to a certain kind of person. And it comes as something that is magnetized. So when you achieve that place, the money looks for you. You don't look for it. And you are not saying, I need it, I want. No, it comes because of the place where you are at. Now, people who are in the flesh, which is the extreme, sense church.
Now it's called Kuyiriba. These days it's not even
okay, that one.
They have replaced it.
Let's say in church ministry, we have people like that.
Struggle.
They're not working, let's say, shops and businesses and things like that. But they are in church, let's say in the ministry, and then they are using their entire flesh to do this, to do that, to do that, to do that, without using the direction of the Spirit.
Wow.
And that's why you will find so many people serving in church. You know, the things I speak about are a little bit controversial. Because people can go back and be like,
those who have suffered in them understand them. So
omuntu natuka ne yebuuza ndi muweereza mbadde mpereza emyaka 10 myaka 2 lwaki tewali kikyuka kubanga kakati ekyo kyokola n'engeri gy'okikola is by you. God's hand is not in it.
Because according to what you're saying, what I've actually changed so kufuna is that yes, nsobola okuba nga mbaddemu emyaka 2 nga mbaddemu egayirizi naye nga nina kuba Asha.
Thank you.
Kati Katonda ku kinnaakafuna ye tajja kutegeera bwa intercessor bwange
ne bw'oba obukola
ne bwemba nga nze asinga obukola.
Thank you very much.
Agenda kunninda wano mu bukebezi.
That is perfectly how it works.
Wow.
And that is why it is important for men of God to align people when they come. Align. Ono mugambe kati waliwo abantu abalowooza nti omuntu bw'aba gift okay kasimanyi bwe bakigamba omuntu bw'ajja mu church bagamba gwe yingira worship team gwe beera mu ba Asha gwe beera wano gwe beera wano just to distributing according to need.
Mukwaya mubula mugenda wano.
At the end of the day, the thing that prosperity, let me tell you something, prosperity is tied to assignment.
Wow.
Your provision is 100% tied to your assignment. Bw'oyimirira mu kifo ky'olina oyimiriramu, however little bw'okiyimiririramu. For example, osobola okuba nga oli bakiyita batya Asha oba gatekeeper nga wowooli naye nga weewatuufu omukisa gwa Katonda gujja kusanga awo. Okusinga bw'oyagala okubeera intercessor ate nga si kye baakuyitira. Kati tulina abalokole bangi mu kanisa bajjudde mu kanisa naye ng'omuntu aweereza misana nakira akola buli kimu kye yeetaaga wabula bwe bakeerera eri mu kalenda ya Mukama anoonya ono Aida
the users
alina beera mu worship team. Buli bwakebera mu worship team tamulabayo Aida ali busy mu intercession. There will be no provision coming to you because you are misaligned, and that is how God works.
Wow.
So if you want to understand how prosperity appears, you master what is that is in your soul. The will, your will. Now, when we come to your will, we're talking about your alignment, the alignment of your needs, wants, desires to God. When there is anything seen as a selfish motive,
my God,
a desire to fulfill your own lusts, like the Apostle James says, God will not grant it. He will not do it.
Osaba nayo osaba kubalagako.
Ne bw'okisabira mwaka ku mwaka balageko tajja kikola because ye talina
Tali mu business ya kubalagako.
Tali mu business ya kubalagako. Ali mu business ya kununula myoyo. It means nti kyakukolera kirina okuba nga bujulizi eri omuntu omulala asobole okugamba nti Katonda w'amaanyi.
Prophet, that means we have to take a personal investment daily. I think for me, why should you look for the prophet? Number one, that you that you are aligned. Yes, I know we need the money. We need the house. And the problem is that's the biggest reasons why we seek.
And that is already wrong. Chito atandikiddeko. Tiboba byononya awo mugulu bagambye bugambi oyo pagan.
Ate Katonda nabya abigaba.
Abigaba but alina process bwa abigaba. Tagamba nti mujje mumbulire temuyina nyumba bawe nyumba. Mukama tuweeyo ku sente. God doesn't do that. He will give you the money as and when you need it. You see, when in the Bible, Jesus, the tax collectors come to Jesus and his company, his disciples, and say, your master does not pay tax. Kati mumugamba asasule. Peter goes to Jesus. Jesus says, go to the lake, get the fish. When you get the first fish, open its mouth, remove from its mouth.
Pay for you and me.
And pay for you and me. Tewaliko balance. Tewaliko extra.
It was enough
exactly
for
what
that
they
purpose.
needed for that purpose. That's how God provides.
And
for
then,
people at that level.
And then he's faithful because he has provided.
Yeah, but
because some people are saying are only crying because they don't have a lot. What they call a lot.
That is mammon. There are people who God has called into ministry and they always remind him, because I've heard this thing a million times. Mbuzo omuntu mukama yakuyita okimanyi yakuyita. Meanwhile ajabuzi nze ne mugamba God has called you to do this. Then the person tells you confidently, or I don't know how to say. I know. No mugamba now why aren't you doing it? Nze nagamba mukama. Okujja ko ng'amaze okuteeka miliyoni z'essente ku simu ku akaunti yange kikola kakati otegeeza ki because ekyo kyakugambye okukola mwe muli prosperity yo and you must allow yourself to do it. God will never move from his place to equal your mind, your little mind.
Prophet, you've made it so easy for me because then I see Jesus, not my will. Even for Jesus, he wasn't exceptional.
God himself was not
subject
to the will.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
The will of the Father. Naye yenyini yagamba byenjagala nabiza wali. Nagamba kankolo kwagala kwa tata wange. Then after he received it back, even in glory.
That is
it. All of us will reach a place where we cannot bear it. But when you cannot bear it anymore, do you say, I'm going to do what I want? Or you go back and say, God, now, when to say, I do not know what to do, I don't know where to go, make a way, and God makes a way for you.
Wow.
And he always will.
Wow.
Now, our problem is that we have the things oba bagamba batya mu Luganda tulina ebintu ffe bye twagala ate naddala balokola basobola okukusesa nze bebange I don't know, I think I am the kind that just I think it looks like I speak against Christian.
you hit us. You always hit us.
Sitegera butegeezi omuntu ayinza okugamba nze kino kyenjagala kyenjagala kakati ekintu kyoyagala kikwataganira wa ne Katonda kyayagala
kyoyagala n'ekya Katonda kyayagala kati
you cannot even put them in the same place. You can't even put them on a weighing scale, because ideally we are called as subjects. Our will must be subjected to his will. That is why it is selfish.
You know, Prophet, just a little slip. I remember before I was married.
Yes.
Quickly, before I was married, I remember the people I used to have interest in.
Those
are the ones I wanted. I said, God, don't help me. This one is the one. Good. 1 month, 4 months, 1 year, you're like, Lord. No, I don't want this. Finally, what I wanted, it's not what I want.
Exactly. And you know, it is in understanding that what God has planned out for you is the best for you, because also you don't know what is best for you.
And that's what you must want.
Yes.
Because it's what you want.
You made me laugh because there's a guy I used to know. I forget his name. Oh, Innocent, how are you? Whenever you hear this. So this boy, this gentleman, kept coming to me, njagala mchala. But every time I would see in the spirit, I would see a dark-skinned lady.
Oh, God.
But she would say, nze njagala muwala mweru.
Oh, God.
I don't want anything. Then he said, he had aspirations for for being president.
Okay, wow.
So every time he would say, you see, I'm dark.
Imagine a
But
president.
never tonight ku red carpet. Omuntu na emilide side eno.
My
And I kept
goodness.
telling him, the lady that I see is dark skinned.
Wow.
And that is the lady that you are with.
Why me even
Naye
have
nga
details?
alina ye kyayagala. Kugamba nekyo nakyo kyannema okutegeera ku balokole. Chovalaba, me, I'm on that place where I'm saying we have not understood God, we have not understood the kingdom, the scope of the kingdom, and what it is we are required to do. Otherwise, this Christian thing is going to be easy. Totandika kunonya bintu, kulwanira buli kintu. No, we are in a place of contentment.
When you are ministering, I see, because you are trying to, from your position, to command.
Yes, that is it.
And we, the receivers, sometimes,
I know.
we are growing in the soul.
Like that. I don't know how
growing
to
in the
pray.
soul.
I don't know how to pray and to plead, because now my assignment requires that I enforce or I make things happen.
That is it. Yes.
That is my standpoint. Tosobola kuvanga oli mu university kati ate ne bagamba soka ojjobale 1+1.
Ubeera tuba twazenga byatulemye.
Exactly. Bwekityo kirina okuba. So in a nutshell, this prosperity has a way, a clear way. Kati bwoba oyagala to master prosperity, tereza mind yo, tereza will yo, tereza emotions, tereza intellect. Intellect is your level of knowledge. Waliwo omuntu nga ye just knowledge is zero. Ate nga alina obusobozi obusoma Bayibuli tayagala gisoma.
My God.
Alina obusobozi obuyiga tayagala kuyiga.
Alaba buzannyo.
Yes. They would rather love a kazanyo than get the Bible and read it. So that is the place where we are at. So ebintu we bitandika okubeerawo kitegeeza ekintu. Prosperity is not an outcome of prayer.
Okulaakulana tekiva mu kusaba.
Yes. Awo we wali obuzibu. Ekyo kyo kiganye mu kyaki omuntu asobola ogamba kansiibe nsabe
kanisa gamu.
Because for me, my intention, my goal is that we actually understand.
Yes.
Sikugaba kati waliwo abantu bagamba tuli mu kusiba n'okusaba nakwana tukole bwe bati. Mukama agule bwenzigi zaffe oba tukole bwe bati. Even when we have seasons at at the church where I minister, the intention is that I explain. I said this is what God wants us to do so that He can do this. God is conditional.
Yes.
Tosobola genda kugamba kansiibe nsabe Katonda nzigulirewo amakubo. For what? For what? Ojja kusiba ennaku zaana.
Ekyo kiwulidde.
Walime kubaawo kibaawo.
God is conditional.
That is how He is.
And by the prophet, some people don't understand that even grace is a condition.
Thank you. Even salvation is a condition.
But it's because if you don't believe and confess, it's
waliwo omuntu amanyi Yesu yatulokola naye sijja mukkiriza ate tekitegeeza nti alokose. Nedda era osobola oba okimanyi naye bw'oba tokikoze, that is it. It is like knowing I have to sow okusiga kulungi, then n'ogamba manyi kirungi n'otakikola. Nothing will happen. So a lot of baweereza mu kanisa, they will fail to do what is right, fail to give, fail to seek God, fail to do what nga omulimu gwe balina gwe guli ogwa flesh ogw'omubiri. Njagenda nyimirire, njagenda njere kanisa then ndaba kyagenda okunkolera nja kulinnyawo prophet waalinnyawo At the end of the day alaba emyaka gigenda tewali kibaawo. That's not how it works. Ebintu bya prosperity really very very clear in the kingdom. God. Prosperity is an outcome of how well you control your soul. Katonda nalyoka akwentrustinga ate bwakwentrustinga abatakuwadde, you don't own those things, you are a steward of those things. That's why prophetically osobola oyimirira wano n'ogamba tomorrow kusawa bwe bati ojja kufuna sente nekiggwa. We are not praying over it. It is not a prayer. It means that I have used the authority okay, like Jesus used to say go and get that colt for me. He knows where it is. Get it for me. I want to use it. Noli omuntu alina sente ezo tasobola ziremera.
My God.
Tasobola. Era you tell the person you will get money tomorrow about 2. Then omuntu oyo azirina sente ajja kuba essimu. Mbadde nakyenjagala what sente zizo nzikuweereza. They cannot withhold it because now we are operating beyond the realms of this earth.
Wow.
So in this earth is where the poor and the rich meet. Every Christian has opportunity to become rich or to become poor. Gwa salawo wa wogwa.
Wow.
So how will you master? Ngenda kwogera ekigambo Mukama nyambe.
Kinasinga ekya Yesu nti the poor shall always
be among you. For us there will be no poor among us.
Not among us.
Not among us. But there will be among you,
there.
But not in this church.
Yes.
Kati, abalokole. I'm saying this statement with everything that I have. Nsaba abalokole balekerawo okusabira obugagga.
Okay.
Wabula abakole obugagga.
Wow.
That is what it requires. Waliwo abantu nga balina ekisa ekyokukola tebaagala kukola. Mukama amugamba gwe omukisa gwo gujava mu business alemedde ku mulimu. Omugamba gwe omukisa gwo gujja ali ku lusozi. Omugamba omusajja naddala bano abaweereza mbuno Mukama yampita. N'abonyabonya famire ye nze nange simanyi kyakolera balokole kambaleke. N'abonyabonya famire ye musajja. He's a man. God is not a God of confusion. He cannot call you and say gwe mwami tokola mpeereza naito omukyalawo n'agamba naawe tokola kati ne mubeera babiri temukola. God cannot do that kind of confusion. He's not a God of disorder. Tekisoboka. Kakati okay abayagala mugende mubbe oba muboneebone. God doesn't work like that. If he allows for something like that to happen, he will station a person to support you. Era omuntu oyo ajja kujja njaba yamba oba bagulirenge emmere oba balabirire. There are people God has called and then they get a free house. Omuntu nabawe ennyumba naga mugibeeremu paka bwe munaakola ki. That is the provision. As long as the hand of God is there, kitegeeza nti assignment agirimu. Naye osanga abalokole nga baweereza tebalina mmere tebalina we beebaka naye ng'alemeddeko nawulira Mukama era Mukama kikino kye yaŋŋamba n'omubuuza wabula bannange n'omubuuza neŋŋamba Mukama yakuyita okay fine. Kakati mweno full-time ministry gye yakuyitira,
which is good
because I know what full-time ministry is. I almost don't get time to rest.
I know.
Unless I've deliberately said no time siriwo. I know what it means to be a full-time minister, because even in the night you are engaged.
That is true.
You are in prayer and you are fasting during the day. You have meetings, you have this, you have this. Every minute is engrossed in that work. Kati obuuza omuweereza oyo, so kiki kyokola? Take me through your full-time ministry. I wake up at 8. Tazukana kusaba. I wake up at 8. Then nengenda ku luguudo, nengenda ne mbulira enjiri. For how long? Obakaya wakes up at 6. Nabulira enjiri ku luguudo from 6 up to 9. Awo nekiggwa nemubuuza, after that what else do you do? Awo nengenda nenkyalako mu bantu bemanyi ne mbakyalirako ne mbabuuzaako ne tusaba bwe baba balinayo ebizibu
ddako mulanchawa
kati nengenda mu mulanchawa kati awo bwe nvaayo naddayo olweggulo ne mubuuza kakati mu bino byonna byokola biruwa Katonda byakugambye okole biru tebiriwo yekoleddeyo sheduye eraga nti no ayina kyakola but that's a waste of time. That is a waste of time because as long as you do something that God has not called you to do kyonna kyokola gwakikola. And then the funny thing is people will expect God to reward them and there is no reward. Ichiringo okugamba
mirimu gyo gyegitaleese.
You see these campaigns happening. Tebakulonze kuba campaign manager naye noyambala t-shirt waneza yero noyimirira wali Kampala Road notandika what oye my dear no chikola la whole day no chikola mukasana no chikola ekiro right at the end of the month you will be expecting a reward but eri tewali ya kuwandisiza. That is the thing
and it's happening.
So a lot of Christians omulaba nga abona
self-deployment
n'agamba thank you yeetumye ne yeewa omulimu omuntu gwe yeesibako ntino Katonda gwe yeesibako ntino yamutumye has not called them. In fact webakebera ebitabo byaba evangelist ono bamanyi ali eri alina kubeera ng'alabirira abaana bakebera ebitabo ngate birala
ayambadde t-shirt ali ku kkubo.
Yes,
my God,
ali serious akola expecting a reward and then the reward is not there because tebanaba muwandiisa. God has not sent you, God has not deployed you in that thing. So at the end of the day tulina mentality ya prosperity nti tujja kugenda mu church waliwo ne bwetukola conference netugamba this is prosperity oba biki conference abantu ne bajja.
My God,
kubanga bamanyi bagenda kutusumulira sente ate if there is a prophet things happen because prophetically it is a voice it is a command which is okay. I mean I can decide to or maybe God can use me to command miracle money and it happens. That is a different thing. Nebo oyagala okutegeera the foundation of prosperity obugagga obutaliko I don't know how to explain. Obutaliko struggle, obutaliko strife, obutaliko effort, toil,
continuous flow.
Yes, and you are not in a place where you're frustrated. It will come from you understanding God does not bless you in the spirit, neither does He bless you in the body. He blesses you in the soul. Ow.
Tebakuzaako ngalo. What a mystery